Grüß Gott, Kameraden. Today on Relics of the Reich we have a tiny relic with a titanic cultural meaning. This is a trench arch shell casing dice game of World War II. The case is a 303 type, specifically with markings 1942, 7Z and D1. Now there are hundreds of different case types and variations. This is the Canadian version made by Defence Industries in Montreal. Canadians were involved in numerous battles and over 50,000 Canadians died in active service in World War II. The 3rd Canadian Division landed on Juno Beach in the Normandy landings and sustained heavy casualties. They fought some of the strongest and best trained German troops, such as the 1st SS Panzer Division Leibstandarte SS Adolf Hitler, the 12th SS Panzer Division Hitlerjugend and the Panzer Lehr Division. Canadian forces fought in northwestern Germany, clearing channel ports and V-rocket launching sites. In my own hometown of Goch, I recall the stories of the German veterans who fought the Royal Hamilton Light Infantry of the Canadian Army. Here the Canadians suffered over 5,000 casualties in the Reichswald forest alone. This World War II relic was likely worn by a Canadian soldier in this theatre of war. Some considered the shell casing with dice like a type of talisman or lucky charm. It symbolized that life was a gamble and high risk, and soldiers would make such charms in a manner to deal with this risk or seek to control it. But apart from the inherent symbolism, the dice were used to play games. As these dice were often made from animal bones, these bullet dice were often called Kaiser Bill's bones, when soldiers of World War I were fighting the forces of Kaiser Wilhelm. Often called hazard or craps, the game played with 2 dice was mentioned in the Canterbury Tales in the 14th century, and this particular relic was likely used to play this game. These types of bullet dice were used in other wars, including the before mentioned World War I, the American Civil War and Napoleonic Wars. The rules of the dice game varied, but essentially one person would roll the dice, the caster having first announced a number between 5 and 9 inclusively. If they rolled that number, they would win. If they rolled a 2 or 3, they would lose. If they rolled an 11 or 12, the result would depend on what their initial number was and any subsequent rules that were agreed upon. So essentially a game of luck, often used to place and win or lose bets on. If they had no money to bet, they would wager cigarettes, war mementos, or even food. Games like this were important to maintain morale and provide soldiers a momentary reprieve, a time to think of something other than the horrors of war. Being so small, they were easily lost, and the few that did survive would be worn at the end of a chain of a pocket watch. It's an extraordinary relic indeed. I'm glad to say that within moments of listing the item in my online store, it was bought by a customer in North America. It seems to have found itself back home. If you found this interesting, please like, share, comment and subscribe. Das ist genug von mir. Schmeißt die Flinte nie ins Korn. Tally ho, old chaps.